Hi, this is Nick George with Cloud Sharpening, just to show you a video on a lobby laser multi-speed, 2-speed repair. We're going to see what's wrong with it and fix it. Thank you. So this is a lobby laser. The problem is it cuts in and out. So it could be the cord pack. It could be something to do in the motor, carbon stuck in there, or bad brushes, but we'll take it apart and see. Seems like it runs fine to me. The light doesn't work. We might get that working, I don't know, depending on if there's nothing wrong with this plate. I can fix it, or I can order them a new plate, but they're, you know, $40-some, and they're not going to want it because the light doesn't really matter. So I don't see it cut out, but we can just make sure we fix all the problems. First problem we're going to see is if these are not locking onto the motor correctly. That can cause some problems. So what I do is I bend these little tabs in. Be careful and don't break them, or the cord pack might not stay in anymore, and then you'll need to replace this plate. So I'm bending these out so they can clamp on there better. Take the two back motor screws out. Be sure to not pull this motor apart or you might not get it back together. So I unscrew it about a quarter of the way. And I put my finger on the bottom so it doesn't fall apart, the motor inside. You can take this end cap off if it's holding it back a little bit. I put my finger on the motor so it doesn't fall apart, and then I slide it out, which is still connected somewhat, and it's these little wires. So it is connected to the motor. So it's important to keep this together because these are spring-loaded brushes and you will have a hard time. We are going to take them out and clean the motor out, so this is not going to be an easy task. So my goal is not to move this brush housing, and if I do, I'll have to pop them back in, which can be done. It's a little difficult, but it can be done. But I'm going to try to separate this from the brushes first and maybe lift this up high enough to clean the motor out. I'll just pop them out for demonstrational purposes. So we'll just go ahead and pop them out. Don't do this if you've never done it before, because if you don't get it back together right, it will not work. So if you can see, the brushes are good and they pop out. So now it's like almost impossible to get back together without messing with this. So we'll mess with that at the end of the video. We're going to go ahead and clean this motor out, which does not look very dirty. So that's good. Everything looks good in here, so that was not the problem. But I never found a problem, but hopefully we fix a problem. So you take this top cap off, And then you can see down in there, your goal is to hit these brushes back and then push the springs back. So you lock them back like that. Put this cap on halfway, just so it's there. Don't push it all the way down. Okay, so now you gotta hit the springs in, the brushes in. So if you can look down in there, I don't know if you can see. You can see the little brush right down in there with the spring. I'm gonna hit it and you'll hear it click. Hear it click. That's one brush. Now we're gonna go to the other side. Try to find the brush. There it is. See it right there. That's it. Oh, here it popped. So we're all good. Put a screw in it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, it's going to be super embarrassing. Oh, wonderful. Let's see if their light works. It might work because this wire's a little bent. So we'll go ahead and hook that back up for them. It's just the wire was off and why it was turning off when I was plugging it in, because it obviously matters what way the continuity is. So let's put this back together. So I soldered this little yellow wire to the other yellow wires to feed it through the housing. I know no other way. It's always a pain in the butt. I don't know why they don't make these longer. Okay, wires in there. We're gonna mount the motor. I recommend loosening those a little bit and letting them stick out a little bit on the other side of the motor so you can feel when they're in the ridges to line the motor up. It's up to you whether what you want to do, but that's what I recommend. And then you can go in and out until you feel this motor seat into the housing. So the motor didn't lift at all, so it's mounted in there correctly. If it lifts at all, it is not mounted in there correctly. So here's my little wire thing, and we'll take these wires off now, and we'll attach the lights because they're now ready. Clean this up a little bit. Okay. Okay, so everything's together. Gonna need to replace that hinge. It's a little weak. Let's hope this works, or it's gonna be super embarrassing if the lights work. And they do. Low speed and high speed. No stuttering. So the problem was probably the cord pack. The contacts were getting weak and they were arcing off the motor, and now it runs good. It's noisy like all the lobbies in the world, but they are very fast, and that's why people like them. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that lever because that's super loud, and this hinge, so we'll go ahead and do that real fast. New lever. So generally I use an Oscar hinge and latch because the latch is fixated to the hinge, and what that means is it doesn't need support in the back. See? So if you don't have that support, see the little spring, then it won't latch on your blade because there's no room for it to latch. So this one doesn't move at all. Look at that. So if this plate's gone especially, it's better to use the Oscar hinge and latch. We're going to go ahead and do this though because I think it will work better and they are cheaper. Well, that sounds much better with a new lever and a hinge, doesn't it? So, it is loud, but it is not for a lobby. That is actually really, sounds really nice. Thank you for this wonderful advanced lobby motor clean out, short fix, and light fix. So, thank you for this wonderful adventure. Have a nice day. Please subscribe and hit like and comment all you can. Thank you.